Hello, welcome to the Top Shelf Literary Editions. This is episode 16. My name is Ernest Whiteman III. I'm a Northern Ramapo filmmaker, artist, writer, and media educator. And thank you for joining me on this series where I'm sharing the top shelf of my book collection with you. I'll pull a book, give a brief synopsis if there's one, or a review if I've read it, and a reason why I purchased the edition, or multiple editions. I think that sharing my books with you is a great way of, learning about one another and also carrying on that media education in the way. Today's book is The Art of War, attributed to Sun Tzu. I believe it is written more than 2,500 years ago. There's been multiple translations of it, of course. Let me see. It is basically what I've come to believe about this is that it's just a prompt for when discussing strategies and tactics. People sort of read it literally, of taking the items out of here and translating them into a modern context. But I believe since a lot of times they're numbered, and those are just prompts for a longer discussion on the principles of war. The first version I've encountered was the James Clavell version, who of course wrote Shogun many, many years ago. And this one comes with his notations in it, and a foreword by him, which includes the infamous story of the beheading of the concubines, which almost every edition carries, which is kind of sad because I think it's not just that there's better ways of demonstrating how, the principles of the art of war can turn any formation into a ready battalion. But I think people just like hearing about concubines getting their heads cut off. So, yeah, this is the first one. I think I may have taken this from one of my brothers, probably the brother that was in the Marine Corps. But I've used it since. The next edition I purchased was this silk-bound version, which has both the Chinese text and the English translation on opposite pages. And again, it comes with a person's translations and of course a foreword about what they think it means. But I really liked how this one looked, especially with the unique binding of it, which I think is a sort of a Chinese binding technique. The next edition I bought was this small leather-bound version, which is easy to carry. Of course, it's broken bound by numbers, numbered verses, and chapters as well. And it has a long introduction by a translator, of course, which also includes the concubine decapitation story, which everybody seems to enjoy. But it also offers examples from the Three Kingdoms, specifically Cao Cao and Liu Meng's examples of discipline within an army. I carry this around a lot, although I've barely read it since I read it the first time. The first version I read was the James Clavell version. I read through that one pretty thoroughly. And I have to admit that it's a dry read. And a lot of it is, I think, like I said, prompts for a larger discussion. But so there's a lot of detail that is left out. And so people have to sort of make that jump in context for themselves. The next version I bought was an illustrated version of the Chinese binding. Again, it offers not only the Chinese text alongside the translation, but in every chapter it offers a case study of the chapter, which I think is pretty cool. It's a little bit meatier, and I haven't started reading this yet, but I really want to. So I keep it on standby. It's on the shelf next to me all the time. I'm reading a bunch of other things, so I have to get through those first. And the last edition I bought, again from Barnes & Noble, was another illustrated edition. This one's a little hardback edition. And of course, it does include the famous story, and it does break things down by chapter and verse, and has great illustrations in it as well. One of the things, again, like most Eastern philosophies, especially on warfare, are always sort of appropriated by the business class in the U.S., and that's very alarming, because there was a time when business meant providing a good product at good prices, and it was a free market. But now it's destroy your enemies at all possible costs, which is probably the absolutely wrong way of thinking when it comes to business. But that's just my opinion. But the many editions of The Art of War attributed to Sun Tzu. Read it if you want. I hope you get glean more of, once again, a philosophy of self-discipline out of it, rather than how to destroy your enemies. But a good read altogether. Check it out. That's it for this time. Thanks. I'll catch you in the next episode.